So finally, huge news. Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro have finally broken their silence regarding the community uproar with their OGL 1.1 leak and all of the crazy negative things that were in there, and how the community is frankly not taking it, canceling subscriptions to D&D Beyond en masse, and the company is just bleeding money. Funny enough though, rather than Wizards of the Coast or Hasbro giving a formal response to the community, instead they pushed out the little brother as like a sacrifice, D&D Beyond, to formally give a response and statement for exactly what is going on with the open gaming license and how they're going to proceed forward. And frankly, the response is just that. It comes off as somebody that is trying to do as much damage control as possible, which makes sense because frankly, everyone's pissed. And not only that, but it just has the most bland possible language to make sure that it doesn't anger any more people. But I wanted to share it with you all, and you could sort of see my live reaction while also getting some information regarding their response. So I'm going to be posting that over here. And with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into it. So it starts off with this: an update on the Open Gaming License, OGL, by D&D Beyond staff. Not Wizards of the Coast, not Hasbro. Weak. So it starts. When we initially conceived of revising the OGL, it was with three major goals in mind. Firstly, we wanted the ability to prevent the use of D&D content from being included in hateful or discriminatory products. I don't think anyone really is in disagreement there, maybe with regards to freedom of speech, but for the most part, I think this statement at least is okay. Second, we wanted to address those attempting to use D&D in Web3, blockchain games, and NFTs by making clear that OGL content is limited to tabletop role-playing content like campaigns, modules, and supplements. And third, we want to ensure that the OGL is for content creators, the homebrewer, the aspiring designer, our players, and the community, not major corporations to use for their own commercial and promotional purposes. So this third statement in particular is very interesting because it seems to me like they're trying to step back on two of the things that were in the OGL 1.1 leak. The royalty tiers, with anyone making over 750K would start having to pay 25% of the following money to Wizards of the Coast. And at first that seems like a really, really small amount, but if you've seen some of these third-party sort of like freelancer Kickstarters, they can make way more than that because the community is that massive and they love to support those types of things. So supposedly they're saying that, oh, we didn't mean that, we only meant to go after huge corporations. Whatever. And the other part of this, though, that I hope that they mention later is the fact that while they're saying that they support homebrewers and aspiring designers, the original OGL 1.1 that they had leaked said that anything that, say, I release or that another creator like D&D Shorts or somebody like that were to release, at any point, Wizards of the Coast can just grab it and claim it for their own and start to sell it, and me or that creator gets nothing for it, which is just stealing work? But we'll see. Maybe they'll address it. So, driving these goals were two simple principles. Our goal is to be good stewards of the game, and second, the OGL exists for the benefit of the fans. Nothing about those principles have wavered for a second. That's a lie. The OGL 1.0a, the original one from way back, yes, that was for the fans. That was also, though, to help the D&D system be able to grow like wildfire since everyone was free to make content for it. It was a genius commercial idea. And OGL 1.1 was the exact same. It was a corporate-driven document update that they were trying to do. It was not for the benefit of the fans, but instead, with OGL 1.0a, at least they were able to benefit both the fans and the corporation. In this case, they were just trying to benefit the corporation and screw over the fans. That's why they were in trouble in the first place. That's why we're here right now. Let's keep going, though. That was why our early drafts of the OGL included the provisions they did. The draft language was provided to content creators and publishers so their feedback could be considered before anything was finalized. The original OGL was not sent to big creators in the community. It was leaked. It was leaked. There was no chance for feedback. You got feedback because of the leak. You weren't sending it people beforehand to understand what the community would actually want. And now you're just trying to backpedal and say, oh, no, we meant to send it out. That comes off weak. In addition to language allowing us to address discriminatory and hateful conduct, and again, they're really trying to stress this by saying this whole OGL fiasco was purely to make sure that people couldn't exploit the game with NFTs and blockchain stuff like that, as well as to prevent discriminatory or hateful conduct in the game. Okay. In addition to language allowing us to address discriminatory and hateful conduct and clarifying what types of products the OGL covers, our drafts included royalty language designed to apply to large corporations attempting to use OGL content. This would be like Paizo and, Pathfinder, stuff like that. It was never our intent to impact the vast majority of the community. The vast majority of the community uses those types of things. Pathfinder is huge and is a part of the tabletop role-playing game community. They might not be part of the D&D community, but they're still part of this community as a whole. Continuing on, they say, however, it's clear from the reaction that we rolled a 1. Again, probably not written by a gamer. They didn't say nat 1. This is just somebody putting in some, I don't know, maybe ChatGPT wrote this for all I know. But anyways, it has become clear that it is no longer possible to fully achieve all 3 goals while still staying true to our principles. The principle to make money, clearly. So here's what we're doing. The next OGL, which they're not going to call 1.1 because that name is tainted. The community, anytime 1.1 is mentioned, they hate it. So they will definitely not be calling it OGL 1.1. The next OGL will contain the provisions that allow us to protect and cultivate the inclusive environment we are trying to build and specify that it covers only content for tabletop role-playing games. That means that other expressions, such as educational and charity campaigns, live streams, cosplays, virtual tabletop uses, and other things of that nature, will remain unaffected by any OGL update. Content already released under OGL 1.0a will also remain unaffected. And I'm okay with this statement. Honestly, this is probably, so far from what I've read, one of the better statements. I don't think that retroactively people should be punished or held accountable for things that weren't required of them at the time that they created the product or whatever it is. So knowing now that things that were made under 1.0a are going to be okay, they can keep on doing so. Perfect, good. I'm glad to at least see that. That being said, it insinuates that everything moving forward has to be to OGL whatever, 2.0, whatever it's going to be called. What it will not contain is any royalty structure. It also will not include the license-backed provisions that some people were afraid was a means for us to steal work. Why else would you have had that in there? What was it for? Under any new OGL, you will own the content that you create. We won't. Any language we put down will be crystal clear and unequivocal on that point. The license-backed language was intended to protect us and our partners from creators who incorrectly allege that we steal their work, simply because of coincidental similarities. No. I doubt you're getting people saying that you steal their content that often, and that the ways of settling those types of situations is costing you tons of money. There's no way. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't own a large corporation, but that just seems a little weird to me. The new OGL will contain provisions to address that risk, but we will do it without a license back, and without suggesting that we have rights to the content you create. Your ideas and imagination are what makes this game special, and that belongs to you. It does make the game special, and I can't believe that the original 1.1 could threaten that. And I'm glad, at least, that you seem to be trying to roll that back, if not only at least to appease the fans who caught you in your deceit. A couple of last thoughts. First, we won't be able to release the new OGL today because we want to make sure we get it right, but it is coming. AKA, we need to make sure that the writing and the language used in that is so concise that either it's crystal clear and nobody can have any issues with it because we know now the community is going to be looking at it with a fine-tooth comb, or we have to make sure that it is so convoluted that even some lawyers won't be able to find the bullcrap that we put into the entire contract. That's what I'm reading here. And it's going to take them a while to do so we don't have the actual OGL, this new OGL that they're talking about. But it's coming, just wait for it. And I'm sure when it does come out, people are still going to be pissed, so have fun with that. Next, second, you're going to hear people say that they won and we lost because making your voices heard forced us to change our plans. Those people will only be half right. They won, and so did we. That statement is so petty and so insecure, or D&D Beyond or Wizards of the Coast to include in here. Like, oh, we didn't lose, we didn't lose, honestly, we won. We won, you guys won, we're all winners here, there are no losers. Listen, let's give everybody participation trophies in this whole situation. Why even include that? That seems so pathetic. Finally, this last paragraph, our plan was always to solicit the input of our community before any update to the OGL. Sure, that's why it was a leak that informed the community, and why the leaked contract included a section for people to sign. Why would you have that section there if it was just a draft? It seemed like it was pretty ready to go. So I highly doubt that. That makes no sense. We want to always delight fans and create experiences together that everyone loves so that we can make money. We realize we did not do that this time, and we are sorry for that. Our goal was to get exactly the type of feedback on which provisions worked and which did not, which we ultimately got from you. Any change this major could only have been done well if we were willing to take that feedback, no matter how it was provided. So we are. Thank you for caring enough to let us know what works and what doesn't, what you need and what scares you. Without knowing that, we can't do our part to make the new OGL match our principles. Finally, we'd appreciate the chance to make this right. We love D&D's devoted players and the creators who take them on so many incredible adventures. We won't let you down. You already let us down. We're past that. You need to make this right. It looks like in this, at least, they're trying to make some changes that will appease a lot of the things that the community was scared about in OGL 1.1 But we'll see. When this new OGL 2.0 or 1 OGL comes out, we'll take a look at it. We'll see if it actually makes sense. We'll see what stuff they maybe tried to sneak in there behind us. And they'll have to be very careful, honestly, to make sure that this new OGL is going to be accepted by the community. That's what we got. That was released a couple of hours ago. Let me know what you guys think. Are you waiting to see what this new OGL says? Are you still canceling your D&D subscription? Are you still going to play D&D? What's your plan moving forward? And until next time, keep questing.